if this picture is good. Yeah, it looks okay. Hello, folks. It's Phil. It is. Let me get this one here. It is. Please shut up. It is 6:24 p.m. on Saturday, December 6, 2025. It is day 6 of the fast because it's past 6 o'clock. Or day 7 of the fast because it's past 6 o'clock. Oh, man. And I am burnt. I have a lot of things in my mind about what I want for that victory meal tomorrow night. Right when I left my driveway here, I went down to Giant. I picked up a Powerball ticket. And I got walking around the store. I got a bunch of food here, but I don't have any meat. And I walked over to the meat aisle and I saw, man, they got a great sale on ground sausage. I forget the name of the company. It's a well-known company. They're like 1 pound packages, and they got them for $3 each. 3 for $10. So what? $3.30 each. I said, I'm gonna grab them. And then I looked up they had some pounded steak, flat steak, for like steak and cheese. And that was half price because it was starting. I could see it starting to brown. That it's starting to go bad. The meat. It's starting to color. Doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. Well, it was half price. It was like $21 originally. It was like $13. So I said, okay, well, I'll grab that. What the hell? They had seasoned pork chops. The little pork chop steak. Man, I'm getting hungry. Little pork chop steaks for $5. You get 3 or 4 of them. So that's enough for one guy. You can make. I got potatoes in there. I got a green bean. That's a meal right there, But before I left this driveway, a smell of hamburgers, of like a Wendy's cheeseburger, came across my nose. And I've been watching YouTube videos. That's the weird thing about doing fasting. If you're on YouTube, you start watching these like professional eaters, and then you watch these guys and these girls. And they'll just get a meal and eat it, but it's not vile or anything. They give you their opinion of the food and the value. And there's one guy named Greg's Kitchen. That's the name of his website on YouTube. He is one of the funniest guys. He's out of Australia, but he's funny as blazes. And he gives you his honest opinion about the food. If it sucks, he tells you it sucks, But anyway, so as I drove out the driveway down to the Giant, I was going to get one Powerball ticket. I just want to get one Powerball ticket, It's $2. And when I got in there, I got walking around. I saw a young lady in there that I had never introduced myself to her, but I've watched her over the years. She's worked at Giant since she was like 16. And she went through some pretty rough years. She gained a lot of weight, and she was very unhappy. But, man, she looks incredible now. I mean, I don't know. Some things are going good in her life, and I'm so happy for her, I was actually going to mention something to her before I left. I was going to say something like, you know what? It's good to see you looking this good. You really look good. I just wanted to say. And she doesn't know who I am. She knows who I am by face because we connect. Every time I go in her, she looks at me, I look at her, and she kind of smiles. And I smile at her. But I didn't want to freak her out, Sometimes people freak out, and I don't want to do it. And she was having a good interaction with a guy that was already there, a young guy, and some other guy was with her. I was like, yeah, I can't get in the middle of that. Just let that go. And, but leaving the driveway, I'm thinking about a Wendy's triple with everything, and no bacon. I got bacon here at the house. I'm going to add bacon to it. But everything, the cheese and everything, and a large fry and a large chili, And I got 2 cupcakes in there that I got. They were on sale, half price at Giant. One is what the hell is that? I know that one is a German chocolate cupcake, and the other is I think it's like a cheesecake cupcake or something like that. But that's for dessert. Not on a fast, you gotta be careful. You cannot ingest a bunch of sugar. So I only can eat one of them. I don't know which one I'm going to choose if I get to that point tomorrow night anyway. But the Wendy's triple with everything and the large fry and a chili sounds pretty damn good right now. So let me get to this damn accident that happened yesterday. I was driving back to the warehouse and it was snowing, so I was being careful. And I was coming down a ramp on 95 and an on-ramp. And it's a long on-ramp too. And you can see everywhere. The guy in front of me was driving a small Chevy pickup truck, and he, as we got up to 95, he took off. I'm like going, dude, I'm not going to go that fast. It's snowing, it's slick. I don't want nothing to happen to my truck. And it's my company's truck, you know. So I saw him go jet away, and I'm like going, okay, well, I need to look in my mirror. And I looked in my mirror. Here comes two headlights flying. This guy was rolling. I say, okay, I'll just back off and let him go. So I backed off, and he didn't pass me. I'm like going, what the hell's going on? And wham, he hits the side of my truck right in the middle like this. He hit the truck like this is my truck. Well, you can see it. To see it the way he is like this, and he hit it like this, like that, almost at a 90-degree angle. I was in the merge lane. Like the truck moved over because I was driving a big truck, big Ford box van, and the truck moved over about a foot, and I was thinking, oh my God, you have got to be kidding me! How the fuck does he hit me and I'm in the merge lane? So anyway, I pulled down the road and I got my shit together and I walked back to the guy. I said, are you okay? He said, yeah, are you okay? I said, yeah. And I just went back to the truck and I called 911 and they sent a state trooper. It took about 20 minutes for him to get there, but they were busy that day. But long story short, the guy was not very amenable to talking to me. I asked him, I said, can I take a picture of your license? And you can take a picture of my license? Yeah, when the police get here. I was going, okay. So I was like, okay, well, I don't need to talk to this guy because right now I'm so pissed off. I don't want to go to jail. You know, you can get so upset about stuff and do stupid shit, and you might get the best of someone, but it ain't worth going to jail for. So I just went back to my truck, and some things happened. The interstate safety truck pulled up behind the state trooper. He put his cones out. And I walked back to the guy's car, and I told him, I said, dude, you might want to turn your engine off because your car's leaking fluid. And he opened the door, and I could tell the engine was off. I said, well, that's good you got your engine off. I just want to tell you that. And then I got yelled at by the highway safety guy. He says, you need to get off the road now. I said, okay, I'm going back to the truck. And while we're sitting there, here comes Fox, the new Fox News Ford Explorer, and they pull in front of me, and they pull out their camera, and they start taking pictures of my company truck and doing a video. And then the reporter did a video, did an interview, a segment for their show. And as they were leaving, the guy loaded everything in his the same kind of Ford Explorer that the police drive, but unmarked, And he put the stuff in there, he closed the door, and the door opened back up, but he didn't know it. And he was about to drive off with the door open. So I flashed my lights at him, he didn't do anything, didn't get out. I hit the horn like 3 times, I turned my lights on so he could see, and I hit the horn again, and then he got out, and he realized that the door was open. So he came out, he closed the door, and it didn't close the second time, but there was something in the door sill that was blocking it. What are you doing, knucklehead? Yeah, little knucklehead. I was down at Giant earlier today, and I went out and mailed 3 bills off. I went to the bank first. I got $100 cash up because from now on I'm going to try to use nothing but cash. I'm going to try to not use any more credit cards. So I went to the bank, and that was a nice visit at the bank. I know all them people, not by name, but they know me by sight. And it was nice. I got a great group of people there. And then I went to Walmart, and I tried to exchange 8 cans of Campbell's chicken noodle soup. I said I want to get bean with bacon soup, and the lady said, well, I can't do that. I can give you the exact same kind of soup. I'm like going, I can't. I don't want to do that. Because the executive for Campbell's Soup, one of the executives was recorded screaming about how they're using fake meat. And I'm like going, okay, thank you for the information. I'll never buy your stuff again. But I was willing to go to bean with bacon soup because I just love their bean with bacon soup. I just love it. It just tastes great. But she said, no, you can't swap it. I said, okay, well, just do me a favor. Throw them 8 cans away, and I'll just be done. I said, Campbell, and I said, I will never buy Campbell soup again. And the lady was a Muslim lady. She had her, I don't know what you call the head wrap on. She was working at the Walmart customer service center. But I have no problem with any of that because we're Americans. We're supposed to accept everyone, no matter what you do. I mean, not no matter what you do, but no matter what your religious ethic is, And she was a very good worker. And I told her, I said, point blank, look, I don't want you to do anything to get you in trouble. So if you can't do it, you just can't do it. And I said, just throw these 8 away. I said, Campbell Soup's no good. I'll never buy their stuff again, which I won't. If their CEOs running that company have gotten to the point where they're going to put fake meat in their stuff and they're not going to tell us, I'm not going to buy it. I can make my own chicken noodle soup here at the house. I can go get a frozen bag of chopped carrots, peas, and something else. And I can throw that in a pot with some chicken and make my own chicken noodle soup and throw noodles in it, and boil that shit up. So anyway, I went to the bank, went to Walmart, and I came down to PetSmart, and I was able... This knucklehead here, she's having a real problem with me finding a good food for her to eat consistently. Because Applause was good for a while, but they've changed something with their food. She used to eat the heck out of their chicken, but now she barely touches it, which tells me they changed the chicken. The cat won't touch it. She's finicky, but she ain't finicky because she's finicky. She's finicky because the shit kills her. If she eats anything Purina or any dry food, she gets blisters right up here in her ears and on her belly. And she has to lick them and tend to them. And thank God that's all gone now. So, but anyway, so getting back to the truck accident. It's not a truck accident. It's a car drove into me accident. My boss was awesome. I called 911. And then I called my boss. I said, man, he's going to want to know about this, Because I'd left the house 15 minutes early because I won't get there 15 minutes early because it was snowing. I figured, you know what? It's going to be bad weather. I don't want to be running fast. I just want to get down there, And if I get down there half hour early, no big snuff, And, but the freaking accident happened. I did manage to get down to the warehouse. I showed him the damage. And I had one job to do, which was a real SOB. I could not believe how they engineered this. It's called a hat table, height adjustable table. But it's got electric legs bolted to a frame. Well, this manufacturer, they put this leg in that goes into slots. It's got pins on the side. Goes into slots. That's all well and good. But then they put 2 bolts in the end to hold it to. But then they put a metal cantilever over the top of it, and they put bolts through the top of the metal cantilever, and then they put a work surface on top of it. So, in order to replace that leg, I got to take the top off, I got to take the cantilever off, I got to take the 2 bolts out, and then I got to take the leg off. So I had to take that entire workstation apart. It's the first time I've ever had to do that to change legs on the table. I hope I don't have to do that a lot. But anyway, we got it done. It took like 3.5 hours. But, you know, fast day 5, you know, and I was pretty burnt by then. And I came back to the warehouse, and my boss was wanting to load our truck up for Monday. But he said, you got to send in the paperwork about your accident. I said, okay. So I worked on that, and we got that sent in. I wrote everything out. I even wrote out a statement on a plain piece of paper I sent to him about the accident, because the guy asked me, one of the questions the guy asked me, where were you going? I said, I'm going to Richmond. I first said I'm going to Fredericksburg. I said, no, I'm going to Richmond. I'm going to work. I didn't dawn on me what he was trying to tell me. You know, I'm merging on a damn highway. Where the heck do you think I'm going, you know? But this guy was... the only way he hits the side of my truck the way he did is 2 ways. The innocent way is he was flying down the road looking at his phone, and he looked up, he saw my white truck, and it startled him. And then he hit the brakes. Well, on the car he was driving had 4-wheel, it's a powerful V8 SUV, and it has 4-wheel drive, and all-wheel drive, and it has anti-lock brakes, and it has traction control. Well, what happens with anti-lock brakes is when you jam on the brakes, it's a good thing and a bad thing. In snow, it can be a bad thing, because what it does is anti-lock brakes will lock one of your wheels instead of locking all 4 of them. What it'll do is it'll engage the wheels in a way that's not even, and then it'll pitch you to the side, and that would pitch him right into the side of my truck. So he lost control of his car and hit the side of my truck. No matter what happened, I'm hoping that's what he did, because the other thing is, if this guy's an insurance scammer, because this was a 2012 SUV, and, you know, it's possible he said, I'm about to get paid, you know. I'm hoping that's not the case. But in any case, he lost control of his vehicle and hit me. I was still in the merge lane. So, we'll see what happens with that. You never can tell. The state trooper did not give him a ticket, which I understand it, okay? You can't be getting nasty with the police because they don't do something for you. You have to let things work out. No, he got down. You have to let things work out. At the end of the day, his vehicle is repairable. Our company truck is repairable. Our company truck got the least of the damage. That guy took everything out on the front of his truck except his left light. So he hit me like that. You know? And I'm just like going, you got to be kidding me. But I was grateful to God that I was okay. And every time something like this happens, because I ran into about 15 years ago in the back, I was at a light, and the light changed, and a guy was on his phone. He's a superintendent at a job. He was probably talking to somebody, and he whipped out in a Dodge truck. He didn't realize that I had cars in front of me. I couldn't go. I saw him go, oh, shit. And I punched it, and the guy whacked the back of our Kia, which we no longer have, thank God. I'll never, ever buy another Kia. And we pulled over, and he said, yeah, man, I'm sorry, I didn't see you. And I said, I get it, you're busy. And he happened to be a Geico insurance guy, and I was a Geico insurance guy. So we worked it out, and the one that really pissed me off was the first accident that happened with the red Honda. Was I was sitting at a light, and the road was wet. It wasn't raining or anything, but the road was wet. And I'm sitting at the light, and I hear this whoosh, the tires are locked, right? And I look at my rear view and I think, oh, fuck. And I punched it, and this girl whacks the back of my wife's car, because the Honda's my wife's car. And she gets out with her phone like this. Where's that damn phone at? She gets out with her phone like this. I am so sorry. She had the damn phone in her face driving down the road. I was so mad, but in both cases, I was okay. And the thing that I return to about this is, had I been on a motorcycle in any of these 3 cases, I would have been either in the hospital or dead. All because of another driver's mistake. and I got a guy I watch on YouTube. Well, there's several, but there's a girl who does motorcycle reviews called Doodle on a Motorcycle. She had an accident on an old school motorcycle that just threw her off in the street. There's a guy named Jixabra who was one of the craziest motorcyclists you'll ever watch. He's just insane. He's fast as hell on that bike and does crazy things, or did. But he was riding, this is the wild thing, he was riding with some motorcyclists doing about 40 miles an hour, and a guy in a pickup truck pulled right in front of him. Never even saw him. And he nailed the right side of that pickup truck and shattered everything on the side of his body. And he's getting better. He's getting better now. And there's another guy, this just happened, I just heard about this because I don't watch their channel much, but there's this channel called Revzilla. And they've got this guy named Zach Kortz that does some of the best motorcycle reviews in the world. Zach Kortz is a very adult, responsible rider, and he's an amazing reviewer of motorcycles. He loves motorcycles, but he was riding in Spain, and a lady in a car didn't see him and pulled right in front of him. And he's got a broken bone in his vertebrae. He's got all kinds of injuries. He's got leg injuries. And this is why I don't think I will ever buy a motorcycle, another motorcycle. I ride a bicycle, but I only ride it in the neighborhoods where the speed limit is 25 miles an hour. That's my rule about bicycles, is don't ride where people go over 25 miles an hour. And but like I said, my hands work, my legs work. I'm not in the hospital. I don't have pins in my legs. I don't have a broken back like Zach Kortz does. And he's talking about, he hopes to be walking in about 2 or 3 months. Jixabra is the same way. He's getting better, but it's going to take a long time for him to recover. It's a life-changing injury. Doodle's injury was mostly soft tissue injury on her right leg, but it was serious. It was very serious, and it took her months to recover. In all of these injuries, a motorcycle and no protection was the cause. If they'd all been riding in cars, they would have walked away from a crash, because they would have all been riding. Jixabra might not. He probably would have been wearing a safety belt, but they'd all been wearing safety belts and they'd have walked away from the crash. Instead, each of them is incurring hundreds of thousands of dollars in hospital debt. Jixabra is probably going to have $1 million hospital bill. Zach Kortz will also have $1 million hospital bill. Where in the hell did that bug come from? What in the hell? Where does a bug come from? You know what? That looks like a stink bug. I'm going to keep that on because I'm going to catch you and kill you, you little son of a bitch. Hold on a minute. I got to go get something. What in the fuck? Why do I got bugs in the house? I don't want no... Now, where's my damn... Son of a bitch. You little motherfucker, I'm going to kill you. Where you at? Where is something I can kill that little sucker with? What happened to the daggone thing? My little whacker. What is whacker? I can get rid of it. Bitch. I think I can kill it with that. I'm going to kill it with that. Alright, you little bastard. You stay right where you're at. Stay right where you're at. Don't you go nowhere, little bug. I know where you's at. Stay right where you're at. Stay right where you're at, little buggy. Where you at, little buggy? Little nasty motherfucker. You know what? I should use a shoe. Not your freaking day, sucker. Not your day. Yeah, that's how that works. Let me go get something to pick it up with. It's probably a stink bug, so it'll probably stink the whole house up. What the hell, man? I get bugs in it. It's freaking winter. What the hell? Alright, let me go get it down. Thing. Alright. I'm sorry. I meant for this video to not go long, but I'm sure it's going to go long now. So I might as well just keep on talking. Where did you go, you little prick? Daggone it. Now I whacked the shit out you, you little bastard. Oh, there he is. There you go. Little stink bug. I don't know what that is. I don't know what the hell that is. Look at that. And I don't care. But it's dead now. Sucker dead? I'm not going to say it. Ain't no reason to be vile. You don't want to hear that. Alright. Okay, so I'll grab a little water. I feel pretty good. Very surprised because I was very tired all day today. But we started getting things done, and every time I get tired, I lay down. I've taken several like hour-long naps. I watched the Formula One qualifying today. Max Verstappen is as far up as he can go. And him and his Red Bull team have really pulled out a miracle. But he needs the guy behind him, Lando Norris, to have a problem, or the other guy, Oscar Piastri, to have a problem to win tomorrow. But he's a 4-time champion, so it's not like, you know, it's not like he can't say, "Oh, it's my first championship." So Lando or Oscar win it. You know, Lando will probably win it, and I will be happy for him. But Oscar was dominating the middle of the season, and then all of a sudden the team interfered with his racing progress and pretty much gifted Lando his championship. Which is dirty as hell, but you know, that's the way teams are. Anyway, so I feel pretty good. I was glad. My boss is so awesome. The place I work with is so awesome. And the people I work with, that I work for, are awesome. My customers in the Richmond area and in the Virginia Beach area and in the Charlottesville area, those are some of the nicest damn people in Virginia. I just want to say. Really. I mean, I worked in Washington, D.C. for 30 years. And there are nice people in Washington, D.C., but they're under immense pressure. That city is a powder keg. And the pressure's on to always get something done. So, people don't have the time to be nice or care or courteous. They've got a job to do. Either you obey what they say or you don't work there. You know? When you deliver to a building, you go up to the building. And first thing you do, you pull the truck up. You talk to the security guard. Security guard says, "You can't leave your truck there. You can unload your product, but you can't leave your truck there." Well, that's a problem. If you're the supervisor, they got you driving a truck, and they got another guy in the truck, and you got like 2 stations to wall mount in an office. Now you got to find a place to park that truck. You know? But I went through that for 30 years. But down in now Richmond has a pretty hostile parking enforcement, and Charlottesville, you got to be careful where you park in Charlottesville. Anywhere you park, everything's got there are codes for the parking, and they have handicap parking that they don't have the little blue symbol with the wheelchair. They have just something written on the bottom on a plate. And you could easily be sitting in there, and you're sitting in the handicap spot, and that's like a $500 ticket. So, but we're doing okay. I've got myself ready. If I wanted to cook a bunch of meals here, I could cook a bunch of meals here, and they would be delicious. But I'm leaning towards tomorrow afternoon because I know I'm going to get tired. I got a pizza place I love to go to. bought stuff from this guy for 20 years, and this guy has always made my food like he makes it for his family. He makes me family pizzas and family steak and cheese. You've seen it on the channel. It's a place called Padrino's. I think it's 3. Padrino's 3. Where's it at? Yeah. Yeah, Padrino's 3. And it's awesome. And I'm thinking about getting it's called a deluxe pizza. It's pepperoni, sausage, and extra cheese. Yesterday I had a taste for a pepperoni and sausage pizza. It is a very old memory of mine. I was very surprised about that. I was like, it's been the first time I ate a pepperoni and sausage pizza was probably when I was like 16 years old. So I'm 65 now. What's that make it? 50 years. And that was a long ago memory. And I just remembered how good the pepperoni tasted and the sausage. It was that round sausages like that. And it was cooked and the cheese tasted good and the crust and the sauce tasted good. And my guy down here makes a hell of a pizza. But if you get... I did a price breakdown because I'm trying to buy all cash. I'm trying to save some money. And like I said, when I go to the lottery now, I just spend $2 on one ticket. If you're going to win, you're going to win. If you're not going to win, nothing can make you win. But for $4, I get almost twice the food. So if I get the small pizza and I get the small sub, which is 8-inch, I save $4. But if I get the large pizza and I get the large sub, I get almost twice the food because the 8-inch sub is a certain size and a lot of it turns into bread because there's only so much you can jam into. But the 12-inch sub is longer, so he can really lay the beef in there, and the lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise, onion. And jalapeno. I think I'm going to get jalapeno on it, so if I get that instead of the Wendy's. And I was thinking about getting his bacon cheese fries, which is about $10. So the deluxe pizza is $13. The sub is like $11, so 13 and 11 is 24. And then the bacon cheese fries, the large bacon cheese fries, is just say $10. So 23, $34. But I'll give myself that for getting through this fast. Now, why do I fast? Well, listen, I want to live a long life. And one of the number one things is my legs were swelling, and this takes care of that. This really hammers home. My legs feel way better. My guts feel amazing. Your gut health really determines your whole body health in a certain way. And that's one of the reasons why I'm kind of leaning away from drinking alcohol, because that feeling in my guts that it creates isn't worth being high for or being drunk for 4 or 5 hours and then feeling bad for a day, I did drink some Stella Artois no alcohol beer today because there was a girl at Giant had this stand set up. It's one of these vendor stands, and she was giving out samples. I walked by her, I looked at them, I'm like, what the fuck is this? She had Stella Artois alcoholic beer on one side and Stella Artois non-alcoholic. I said, do you want to drink some? I said, I'll take some of the non-alcoholic, sure. So she had a cup like that, like a little shot glass. Smaller than a shot glass. She filled it up and I drank it. And it didn't make me feel too good. I was like, okay, that was enough of that. But I complimented her. I said, I drink this Stella Artois non-alcoholic beer is some of the best non-alcoholic beer I've ever drank. And I only need to drink 2 because it fills you up. But she was sweet as she could be. Enjoyed that time. But we'll see what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm sorry about the went long. I might have to make this will be two sections. So I have to make my video, and then I'll have to post it. But we're doing okay. We thank the good Lord for protecting us yesterday with that truck. I just still can't believe that guy hit me. Like I said, I come up on the ramp. Guy in that Chevy truck went blasting away. I'm like, I'm not going to do that, boss. And I looked in the rearview mirror. I saw that guy. I saw a car coming up flying. I was like, okay, well, you can go on. So I slowed down. And I go, where the hell is he? Because by the time, when you slow down, they should fly past you, right? I said, where the hell is he? And then wham! I was like, oh, you got to be fucking kidding me, man. Are you fucking kidding me? And when he flipped an attitude at me about taking the picture of his license, I said, oh, God, I got to get away from this guy. I don't want this motherfucker to be crushed in the face so bad. Oh, my God. He could have, he had 3 lanes he could drive in, but he decided to hit the side of my truck in the merge lane. I'm like, what the hell is going on? But, it's okay. I'll change my drive, and I'll every time I see one of them, I'll just pull over to the fucking shoulder. He can hit me on the shoulder, Unbelievable. But we were okay, and that's the important thing. The truck, where he hit it, was kind of a blessing, because he didn't damage any of the running gear. And the truck is still usable. It just leaks inside from the hole in the side of it. My boss and I are going to work on that with some tape and whatever. And, but the fast, and I looked at it like this. I said, you know what? I know why this accident happened. And this is my paranoid brain. Satan does not want me to complete this 7-day fast. He doesn't want me to, because he wants me to get sick, and he wants me to be bent over, and he wants me to use a walker, and he wants me to be taking pills, because it's suffering, and he loves suffering. I'm like, you know what? Of all the things I'm going to do, I'm not going to get off this fast. I'm not going to go get drinking or get drunk. I'm not going to go do smoking any pot or taking any pot gummies. I'm just going to chill out and get through this fast, and on tomorrow at 6 o'clock, I'm going to eat a banging meal. I don't know what it is, but it'll be banging. I'm leaning back now towards my guy, Padrino's 3, with the deluxe pizza and the steak and cheese sub and the bacon cheese fries. And let him cook it for me, And he's a local guy. He ain't like a chain, like a Marco's or a Vinny's down here. Vinny's down here really disappointed me. The Vinny's in Richmond was awesome. But the one down here, I think it was just a pepperoni pizza. And the crust was completely different than the Vinny's down in Richmond. I was like, how in the hell? This is a chain store. And what it is to make dough. I used to work at a pizza place. It's one of my first jobs. My very first job was working for my dad, cleaning up his aluminum siding company job sites, customers' houses, cleaning up the yard and all the shit that the installers left. My second job was working for a pizza place in Woodbridge, and we did everything, man. We made dough, we did food prep. I was the dishwasher for most of the time I was there, but I did cut some cheese, and I did do food processing. What you doing, boo-boo? Oh, what you doing, miss? These little boogers. Boy, she looks so good. I'm so happy. She had crusty sores on her ears. She had crusty sores on her belly. I was real scared. I was like, going, man, if I take her to a vet, they're going to put her on medicine, and she's just going to be sick. What you doing, boo-boo? Look, this is the most spoiled cat in the world. This is the most spoiled cat in the world. Yes, it is. Yes, you are. Oh, I meant to tell you. I was getting to it. So earlier today, I was in Giant, and I was picking up some stuff for tomorrow, if I wanted to do it, right? And their deli, I give her sliced turkey, natural sliced turkey, and she eats the shit out of that stuff. And they had sliced turkey at their deli on sale, like half off. So there was like these packs. It's real expensive at their deli. And the sliced turkey is like a half a pound for like $7. Well, they had it on sale for like $3. I said, shit, man, I'm gonna get me a couple of packs. So I got $20 of it. What are you doing, boo boo? So I got like I want to say maybe 2.5 pounds for $20, something like that. I don't think it was 3 pounds. I think it was like 2.5 pounds. But she's got turkey for a while, and I got turkey too. I like eating that turkey too. I thought about making a turkey sandwich tomorrow. I got ham in there too. I got to make a ham and turkey sandwich, and I could make a Monte Cristo sandwich. You know? I watched a guy on YouTube made this sandwich. He put eggs, essentially a Western omelet in the pan. Okay, put 2 pieces of bread on it, and then he put cheese, ham, cheese. I forget if he put another piece of ham on it and cheese. But he folded the sides. He was in a round pan with a square piece of bread. And he folded the egg over into the sandwich and on the ends over into the sandwich. Then he folded it up like this. And, oh my God, it's like a French toast, ham and cheese, grilled cheese sandwich. Oh my God, was that look good. But then, the next thing he did was, he did the exact same thing, but when he went to flip the sandwich up, he put raw bacon strips in the sandwich. I was going, dude, that shit's raw. I'm not eating raw bacon. I don't know if he thought that, cooking it, folding it over like this would cook the bacon, but that ain't going to cook no bacon, brother. You got to cook that bacon before you put in that sandwich. But the first one with the ham, oh my Lord, that looked great, And I saw another one before that was a lady made another French toast sandwich. And the first thing I thought of was, well, I'm going to either put maple syrup on that bad boy, or I'm going to put some of my honey on it. But I'd probably go get some real maple syrup to put on that, So, I'm watching a lot of videos. We're having good times here. Me and Knucklehead are just hanging out. She gets irritated at me when I start moving around. But we're doing pretty good. I'm about to get up to turn this video off because we're about done. Fast Day 7 is going on. I feel pretty okay, and I want to say to the Lord, thank you. I cannot stress enough how important it is that you drink water on a fast. If you get feeling nauseous, drink some water. And I have the tea. I drink the green tea, black tea blend, and I do drink a coffee, but boy, oh boy, that half and half, I must be lactose intolerant or something, because boy, sometimes I can drink it, sometimes I can't. So, but we're doing okay. What you doing, boo-boo? Yeah, my spoiled little brat. Look at Bratimus. This is Brat, the most spoilest cat in the world. Yes, you are. You so silly. Damn, my silly. Yes, you is. Look at my little boo-boo. Yeah. You spoil rotten. You know that, don't you? Yes, you do. You the spoilest rotten cat in the whole wide world. Yes, you is. Spoiled little rotten mess. She's a trip, too. She'll get up. I come in the door, and she meets me at the door when I come home from work every day. But if I go out, so like I go out in the yard and I leave the door open, she'll stand in the door. She wants me to let her out. And one time she actually walked down the damn porch. I was like, where in the hell are you going, cat? And I was scared because I was like, oh man, I can't bolt at her, jump at her because I scare her. And I just waited. She looked back at me when she got to the edge of the porch. She didn't know what to do, And I walked over nice and gently, and I reached out and grabbed her. I said, your ass is coming back in the door. Bad cat. I didn't whack her. No, I don't do that shit. I just said, bad cat. Now, every time she gets to the door, I got to be careful, But she's my little button. We got her for Wanda. She's my last living connection to my wife. I got a picture of her on my wife's chest sleeping. My wife is sleeping in her recliner. It's one of the most beautiful pictures I have of my wife. And this little knucklehead's on her chest. Yeah. You're right. I'm so happy that. So we. One more thing. I turned those foods in that she didn't eat at PetSmart, and they let me do that. They let me take the total cost of those off the cost of the other foods I was going to get at PetSmart, because I went and got. She don't like the pates. And with pate is like a thick mass in a can, and you cut it out. You cut it to slices. She don't like that. She likes like the gravies and the. I forget what the hell. There's a grilled and stuff like that, but she likes beef. She likes beef with lamb, beef with chicken, and she's not big a fan of chicken. There's something going on with the way they're processing chicken. She don't like it. So, but that turkey loaf that I get from the Giant Deli, she'll eat the hell out of that. Now, I just gave her 2 servings of it, and she left about a third of the second serving in her pan. I'm hoping she'll eat it. But that'll tell me that I have to back off about how much I give her of that. So, but we doing okay here, and we doing okay, little boo-boo, little knucklehead. Yes, we are. But you know what? I can't turn that off unless I get up. And I can't get up unless you get up. I'm so sorry, little buckethead. And you thought with you little mess. Yeah, little boogers. It's little boogers. Look at little boogers, yeah. You are spoil rotten. What? What are you doing? You can't stay there. You gotta get up, boo-boo. Little boogers. You ready? Now watch this. I got a sound that I give her. It's just like a smooch. And she knows she gotta get up. So, we're about to be done with this video. Baby girl, you gotta get up. Come on now. Thank you, honey. I appreciate it. Folks, I want to tell you that fasting can help you. It can help your legs if they're swelling. It can help your mind if you're dealing with depression. It can help your guts in ways you would not believe. So I recommend you go on YouTube, see Dr. Jamnadez, see Dr. Sten Ekberg, and there's another Dr. Berg that you should see too. He's that other Dr. Berg, not Sten Ekberg, but that other Dr. Berg, just did a video about health practices, and he mentioned fasting, and he mentioned carbohydrates, and how you have to watch out about what you're eating for carbohydrates. One of the number one things we got to face about our food supply is that the companies that are making our food are destroying it before they sell it to us. And they're destroying it so that it lasts longer on the shelf. If you have any food that says enriched is a term that tells you that the food has been destroyed and they had to add chemicals back into it to restore any nutrition to the food. Also, if you see the word natural flavors is a lie that the food industry uses for chemicals. And another thing is, if you see anything with aspartame or sucralose on it, both of those chemicals are poison. And they're sweeteners. And they're extraordinarily addictive and damaging to your entire body. Sucralose is terrible on the guts. So that's the end of my lecture. Sorry that it went this long, but it's like life. You just got to go with it. I mean, you can't. I make plans sometimes, but I don't make plans very often. But I always understand that life sort of determines what you're going to do, and you got to go with the flow. You got to be. It's one of the reasons why I don't like being stoned. I don't like being high. I don't like being drunk, because you got to be ready to react. You got to be ready. You got to be in the right place anyway. You don't want to be in a place where you're doing something illegal. And anyway, we're doing okay. Fast Day 7's on its way. And God's with me right here. And I just want to say to God, thank you, sir, for watching over me. And thank you, sir, for keeping me safe and for making yesterday go about as good as it could go. there's always a reason for things happening. I don't know why the guy hit the side of my work truck, but there's a reason. There's a message that God's sending me, and maybe sending a message to the other guy too. So you just got to go with the flow and accept it. Say, okay, Lord, it's up to you. God is right with you every day, and He will help you. All you got to do is ask, and it might not come in the way you think, but He'll help you, okay? I want you folks to have a wonderful rest of your Saturday night and Sunday, and God bless you, and we will see you, hopefully, if not before the victory dinner, at the victory dinner. Whatever it's going to be, I cannot wait to eat it. I'm so hungry I can't see straight. But I'm not ravenously hungry. I'm not going to destroy my fast. I'm going to end it properly at 6 o'clock tomorrow night, and I'll make a video about it. Y'all will have a wonderful Saturday and Sunday, and we'll see you on the next video, okay? Have a good one, folks. God loves you.
Peace.